Hello everyone, Texas Deacon here. I hope you had a wonderful day in the Lord. The title of this lesson is Image of the Christian Church, part number 6. And I'm calling this one Abuse by the Church. Sounds like a strange title, but I think I can defend it. The scripture reading is 18:6. Matthew 18:6. And this is Jesus himself speaking. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believes in me, it were better for him if a millstone were hanged around his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Strong words. Now, in this particular passage, Jesus is dealing with children, young children he was always popular with the children. However, I personally believe that it can be applied to anyone of any age that is new or young in the faith, no matter how old you are. Abuse by the church can happen to you no matter at any age also. 7, 8, 9, mid-30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. No age limit. Church abuse can be many forms, such as one that kind of gets me is what I call the holier than thou people. I remember a particular couple that used to always tell everybody every week how much closer they got to God during that week. You just expected that some week when they showed up for church, God would be riding in the back seat with them. They were so close to him. Well, it never happened, did it? And you say, well, Deacon, isn't that what we're supposed to do? Well, absolutely right. We're supposed to get closer and closer to God all the time. However, if you have to stand up and tell and explain it to everybody on a weekly basis how you've gotten closer to God and all the things that are done without them seeing it, if you hadn't have told them, they wouldn't have noticed it. I personally question, was there any real closeness or growth taking place that last week? A new person in the faith will have little knowledge, will have little understanding, and they can be easily misled. We read what Jesus said, that anybody that offended one of these little ones, it's better that they were dead. And when Jesus said it, when new people come to church, it is the church, and by the church I mean everyone in the church, from the pew warmer that I've talked about that does almost nothing but at least it shows up occasionally, to the pastor, to discover where these people are in their Christian walk and give them all the help they need to grow. It is the basic responsibility of the church, and that is the whole church. One of my earliest memories is of a very overbearing woman in church. The way she verbally abused me and put me down and treated me like I don't even know how the words to explain how she treated me, but those memories are burned into my memory, and that could have been as much as 62 years ago, and it's still there. So always be very, very careful, especially with the young ones. New people in tithing. If you have listened to many of my programs, you know how I feel on tithing. I even, here's a prop I used one time, in which I call my opinion, the 3 most important things: attendance in service church, prayer, and any one of them, and it will fall. Anyway, I said that because it's going to sound like on the surface maybe I'm doing a backtracking, but no, I'm not. In the late 60s, about 1969, I believe, I was made up my mind I had to get out with a landlord, become a homeowner. Now, for reasons I won't go into now, I had to do it on my own totally. One paycheck coming in. I could not count on anyone for help. Had to do it myself. My answer was to buy the cheapest house you could buy, which is what I started looking for. I refer to it as a lean-to. It leaned to this way when the wind blew that way, and it leaned to this way, and almost some truth in that. Now, a couple of blocks from that house when I moved into that neighborhood was a big church, pretty big church, almost a mega church. Excuse me. Of course, as soon as I got settled down, I went to church. On my first visit, they wanted me to move my membership there and pledge, in today's money would be about $5,000. And I didn't have $5. They ran me off. They were guilty of abuse by the church. Don't ever be responsible for anyone leaving the church. They may never go to another church. When you stand before God someday and He talks to you about this person, that you were very rude, ugly too, and didn't give them the help they needed, and they left and never went to another church, and that one soul is missing from heaven that should be there, and it's your fault, what are you going to say? I will not be in that position. I may have some other problems, but that one position I will not be in. Because God's not going to be a very good listener. I can tell you that already. If you or someone you know has been a victim of a church abuse by the church, and left and did not return, and it can be such things as, I know one woman that complains all the time. I'd really rather not be around her because all she's going to do is complain. And a lot of backbiting. She does backbiting. Likes to throw her weight around. Likes to run things. And people like that can turn off a new person and they leave. Well, we have a responsibility to go to these people and talk to them. Now, we do it in private. You should always talk to a person in private when you have anything negative to say to them. Because never say anything behind a person's back. They're going to find out about it sooner or later anyway. That you can count on. When you are led by the Spirit to speak to someone about such things, tell them that you believe that it is the Spirit that is leading them and encouraging you to do this, and you do it out of love. Everything a Christian does must be done out of love. And we're talking about a God kind of love. Take a look at your church. See if you can find some areas where you may be able to do a little better, areas you can improve. I am one of those people that believes that we may be in the early days of the end times. It is so super critical that we hang on to everyone we can get to come through those church doors. God Himself said that He did not want anyone to perish. Let's all do our part in stamping out abuse by the church. It's real. Look for it. It's there. until next time, may God continue to bless and forgive the United States of America. May God continue to bless the Republic of Texas. And may God continue to bless you and yours.